right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Tuesday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am so happy to be here this morning with Kell Julliard. Ta-da!
Morning, Suzanne.
Good
And
morning.
as usual, I'm thrilled to be here too with you and the folks who've joined.
Yeah, we love having you here, Kell. So it's a treat for all of us, and just happy to have you back. So
thank you.
And welcome to everyone this morning. Special welcome to our regulars who we love having on and love to see their names every morning. And as well, a welcome to anybody that's new. So today, just if you've not been on the session before, we'll guide you through every part of the session. If you're new to meditation, no worries at all. So we'll start off with a question for the group, and Kell will lead us we'll share some thoughts with us and then lead a guided practice. So after that, we'll have time for some questions and chat. So if you can go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat. And once you do that, you can go to the blue drop-down menu and choose everyone from the drop-down menu. So hosts and panelists and will show up originally, and then you can click the blue drop-down menu and click on everyone, and everyone will see your comments as you type them in. So with that, Kell, what did you want to start us off with this morning?
Well, I actually have two questions today. And the first is, what words or phrases come to mind when you hear the word equanimity? Equanimity. So what words or phrases come up for you about that word?
I just shared that in the chat for everyone.
So I see the word equal has appeared.
Balance. Yeah.
Balanced and even.
Mm-hmm.
These are great words that, yes, to me are very important with respect to equanimity.
Yeah, I even sometimes think about the scale, the what is that called? That scale, that you balance two things on either side, a scale.
And I see Juan has said the first time I've heard this word. So great, Juan. Thanks for sharing that. This is a very helpful word in life and in meditation. So hopefully you'll have some good associations with this by the time we end today. So I see justice, mental health. Meg is chiming in with Juan, saying first time she's heard the word equanimity. Great.
Yeah.
And you know, a word that comes to mind for me too, which I just thought of yesterday as I was pondering this, is resilience. I know this is a word that some of us feel maybe is overused a little bit, but boy, being able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off when life throws you a curveball is really useful, and that's resilience. And I see civil rights, yes, really treating everybody as equals and with dignity and respect is built into this word equanimity. So I'll just unpack it a little bit for folks. So it's what everybody has typed in. It's this ability to be balanced and really to move through life with acceptance of its ups and downs. So for everybody, for all of us, for everybody, for all beings, life is constantly going up and down. You know, sometimes things are great, sometimes not so great. Sometimes they're really kind of bad. Sometimes they're fabulous. It's just a constant movement. And equanimity is our ability to bring balance and acceptance and resilience to these ups and downs of life. So I'm also thinking I've got a little e and a big E equanimity to share. So for me, the little equanimity is one of the fruits of meditation as we move through life with this kind of sense of peace that meditation and mindfulness can bring for us. We don't take everything so personally. We let our innate wisdom and compassion emerge in the moment. We respond to situations rather than having knee-jerk reactions. So equanimity can really help us move through life with grace, to not take things so personally, and to just recognize that life is full of ups and downs, and that if I just keep reacting all the time, it's just going to make it harder for myself and other people. So to take a moment to have a wise response instead of that knee-jerk reaction. And then I think a biggie equanimity is really recognizing that the lives of all beings are constantly going up and down, that we're all in this together, and that we're all interconnected. And so to bring a sense of warmth and compassion as much as possible, even through the difficult situations, can really help ourselves and everybody else just move through these ups and downs with more grace and more ease. And part of that big E equanimity, it really was kind of a shock for me when I realized this the first time. So our friends can annoy us. Sometimes we fall out with our friends. Friendships can go up and down. And sometimes the difficult people in our lives become our best allies and sometimes even our dearest friends. So that even these challenging people sometimes move into a place of warmth and closeness and friendship. And we don't know when and how this is going to happen. We can't foresee this. So really bringing that warmth through even challenging situations can be really helpful.
So true. So true.
There's one more point I want to make before we move into the meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's called analytical meditation. And this is where we actually bring our process of thinking and reflecting into our meditation. And loving kindness and compassion meditation are examples of analytical meditation, where we're using thoughts to help us open our hearts. And this is meditation. It's not just thinking, because in this process, we're recognizing awareness. We're not just thinking, we're acknowledging, we're recognizing, we're knowing that we are thinking. And that creates a little bit of space of awareness around the thinking process, and brings a sort of spaciousness and peacefulness to the thinking process that transforms it into meditation. And we call that analytical meditation. And that's the kind of meditation we're going to do today. So unless, Suzanne, you have something you'd like to chime in with, we'll just move into our meditation now.
Sounds perfect.
So take a moment to check in with your posture, making sure that your spine is comfortably upright and that your body is relaxed, that you're both present and at ease in a posture that supports awareness. And we'll just rest in open awareness for a moment. And what open awareness or open presence means is that we're simply knowing that we're alive and aware in this moment. We're not lost, but we're not focusing on anything in particular. Just noticing that we're aware right now, here and now. as we recognize awareness and know that we're alive in this moment, thoughts and feelings and perceptions, sensations can come and go. We don't have to push them away or chase after them. We can just notice that they move in this space of awareness, and that awareness is actually bigger than they are. For instance, we can notice a body sensation, an emotion, a thought. And awareness is big enough to hold all of those, which means it's bigger than our thoughts, bigger than our emotions, bigger than our sensations. And just take a moment to appreciate this spaciousness of awareness. We can also notice that our resting here in meditation, in awareness, is actually an expression of compassion for ourselves. We're doing this to foster our ability to bring happiness, freedom from suffering into our lives. That's our intention in being here today. And along with compassion, wisdom is present, because meditation is a wise way of helping us move toward greater happiness, greater freedom. So wisdom is also spontaneously present. So to begin our meditation with equanimity, I'd like to ask you to bring to mind a neutral person. That's a person that you don't know very well. You don't know much about them. You might have a slight liking or even a little bit of not so much liking them. That doesn't matter. Just somebody that you don't know very well. Maybe somebody you've seen on the news this morning or saw on Facebook or noticed in the grocery store yesterday. Anybody at all that comes to mind, somebody at work you don't know well. And notice that they want to be happy and free from suffering just like we do. They have that desire as well. That's one thing we can know about them for sure, is that just like us, they want to be happy and free from suffering. And even though we don't know what the ups and downs of their life are, we know that there are ups and downs. That like us, their work life has its challenges, is not completely fulfilling, may not pay them enough. Like us, They have challenges with family and friends, relationships that don't go perfectly. Like us, they have ups and downs to their health. However young they might be, they too are growing older. And see if we can wish for them, this neutral person you've brought to mind, that they bring an open-hearted acceptance, balance, and wisdom to navigating these ups and downs that are inevitable. Many of us find saying a simple phrase around this can be very helpful. It can feel a little artificial at first, but just give it a try. So keeping in mind this neutral person, saying softly to yourself or silently in your mind, may you have equanimity, acceptance and balance and resilience as you move gracefully through the ups and downs of life. So you can find a way of simplifying that so you can repeat it silently to yourself about this person. Something like, may you have balance as you move through the ups and downs of life. Or acceptance or grace, whatever word works for you. And letting go of saying these phrases, just let the mind rest in awareness for a moment, coming back to the present moment, recognizing that you're alive and aware here in this moment right now. And now recognizing that you have ups and downs in your life, that these are inevitable, and wishing this same warm-hearted wish for yourself. Again, repeating a phrase that's meaningful to you. May I have balance and acceptance and grace as I move through the ups and downs of my life. May I have balance and wise responsiveness as I move through life. And simply repeating that phrase, whatever words feel right to you, for yourself with warmth. And now, in your own rhythm, let the mind rest back into awareness, recognizing that you're present and aware right now in this moment, and that awareness is spacious enough, bigger than anything else in your experience, big enough to hold your whole life. Okay, that concludes our meditation.
Thank you so much, Cal. The words that you mentioned about awareness holding all of these ups and downs is really meaningful. And I would imagine that would resonate for a lot of people as they learn to meditate or continue their meditation practice. So that was very helpful.
And if any of our participants today would like to type in what the experience was like, or if they had an insight or a question about anything we've done today, be happy to look at those. I know just leading this meditation has left me in a very peaceful place, feeling much more ready to renegotiate my life as the day unfolds. I'm getting ready to lead a retreat here in Shutesbury over the weekend, and it can be a little stressful when you're getting ready to lead a retreat. So Absolutely. This is very helpful for me too.
Isn't that wonderful how that works?
I see Kristen said, this was lovely this morning, recognizing we're not alone in our suffering and joys, and it's fleeting. She thought of her friendly postal worker. Yeah. And Brittany, I'm going through a lot right now, so this was a great reminder. Thanks for sharing that, Brittany. We wish you all the best with what you're going through.
Yeah, and thank you for all the comments. It's, I agree with Kristen that just the recognition that we know that everyone else is going through those ups and downs. And of course that's, we know that, but reminding ourselves of that can be very helpful as we, go through, this is a challenging time in the world. So,
yeah.
And it can be challenging in our own lives. So thank you, Cal, for offering this.
Your Brittany shared that being able to think about someone else and then turn it back onto myself was really helpful. Yeah, we sure want to include ourselves in this wish for equanimity. I know these kinds of practices have transformed my life. The way I walk down the street now is completely different. I mean, everybody used to look just fine, well, they're fine. They're doing fine. I mean, I'm not doing so well, but they're all doing fine. I can just see they're doing, and recognizing that everybody has those ups and downs and they're invisible to me. And everybody has this tender-hearted, wish and dealing with stuff that we just can't know about. It's really given me so much more empathy and sympathy for others. All these strangers on the street. It's made the experience of being in the grocery store or walking down the street a much more human and compassion-filled experience for me.
Yeah. It's so true.
I see Lorraine said, sharing grace for ourselves and others feels like practicing appreciation for humanity. So true. So beautifully said, Lorraine.
Yeah, and I feel when you mentioned about walking down the street and thinking everyone's fine, I mean, we live in a world where social media, sometimes we see the best of people's lives and think that that's their lives, it can be very misleading. So it's particularly helpful in that realm as well.
Yeah, there's a saying in 12, I think it comes out of 12-step programs, don't compare your insides with other people's outsides.
I love that.
And oh my word, is that important to remember with social media these days?
Mm-hmm.
I think just being on social media, we need to like have a lot of equanimity. I see Alicia said, just like me. Yes, yeah, exactly, Alicia, just like me. It's so true.
Well, this was really wonderful, Cal. Thank you so much for bringing this practice. And it's, you know, I think we've done loving kindness a while ago in this session, but this is, I think the way you presented it, like someone had mentioned, that in a way of looking at equanimity, I think is just a really wonderful way to balance it and to share it. So we're really, really grateful to have you here. It's
Well,
always
thank
nice.
you. It's such a pleasure to be here. It's so good for me.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful?
Right?
Oh, it's such a community. And you know, I understand what you mean when you teach, and you learn from so many of the people that chat, so many of their experiences. So it's very nourishing. So thank you. Thank you to everyone for joining this morning, for new folks as well as our regulars. And again, thank you to Cal.
And thanks,
we're back
Kristen,
here.
for your wish to have a good retreat. I really
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
that.
Yes, we wish that for you for sure, Cal.
Thank you.
And we'll be back here tomorrow morning. So please join us Wednesday morning for our session where we have a Zoom meeting format and we can chat together in person or on screen. So have a great rest of your day, and Cal, we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Christopher.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.